let's run a marathon.
And back to your scheduled programming.
What's up everybody, this is Kyle McCue and this is Marathon Training with yours truly. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out in the long term. But today is the end of chapter 1. I recently ran my first organized marathon. This is gonna be a video recapping how the marathon went for me, the running specific part, how I thought the marathon was organized, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about my YouTube channel here, my platform, and kind of a milestone that I've recently hit, and how things are all culminating in this whole first year on YouTube, how things have progressed, and it's just kind of cool. But all right, let's get into the video. And firstly, the race. Okay, so the marathon as it was organized. I will start off by saying the City of Oaks Marathon is super duper rad. It seemed very professional. This is not their first rodeo and I would definitely recommend it. But I can tell you a little bit more about it because I didn't find too much information and most things were kind of a surprise to me. First off, there's a big expo. When you go to pick up your bib with your number on it, and your shirt and your mug and the registration and all that, there's like a big expo over at the university. So you like go in and there's booths. I sat and I talked to this guy from On Cloud or On Running, the shoe company. I think they're based out of Switzerland, but they have HQ in the Pacific Northwest here. I tried on a pair of their running shoes when they're distance. I think it was the Cloud X. Super comfy, super cool shoe, very kind of tech oriented, very comfy. They focus on making cushion shoes that are also crazy light, a little bit more expensive. But I would have never done any of that if the expo had not been there. And also if I didn't have to go register the day before and could do it the day of, I may have missed the expo altogether. So, I mean, I just didn't know anything about it. Maybe I needed to read more emails. I don't really know. Moving on from there, the race itself. Getting there, the start and finish line was a huge party. This is one of the first times I've done a larger race. Maybe they are all like this, but where you start and where you finish is kind of in the downtown area, right by the bell tower at NC State campus. live band, tons of things going on, and tons of people. It was a big race. So that's my first experience with that. It was a big hoo-ha, big party, a little bit nervous beforehand, but as I finished, I was very excited to be in that environment. And then, let's see. So maybe I would say the one thing that I found is kind of a negative, and this totally, this could be all mental or not. I checked online and it seemed like there was like an aid station every mile and a half. I really didn't feel like there was as many aid stations as promised online. That being said, it's not that awful. You know, at the end of the day, you're supposed to train for these things. I should have been fine. I was fine. Maybe I wasn't fine. But yeah, that was the race as an organization. As it was organized, super rad. We gotta move on to how the race went for yours truly though. Okay, so how the race went for yours truly. First off, the first half marathon is basically, you run it with the half marathoners, which I thought was a little bit weird because, I'm out there running a completely different race. Mine is twice as long, but I think I got a little bit sucked into that as I started. My pace was very consistent. I was trying to really stick to 10-30 miles. By the time I was completing that 13-mile mark, I knew that really I had started to lose kind of my momentum on that pace. I knew that the elevation was starting to really affect me. And then came mile 19 where everything was just like, all right, crap. But what I mean by that is essentially my quads felt like they were at 26 miles when I was at 19 miles. So what I took from that was basically my arm was about to fall off. So that's when my whole race changed. When I hit that 19-mile mark, basically what I switched into gears was, okay, let's just complete this. Let's complete this without dying, basically. A lot of my miles started dropping off, 11 to 12, a couple 13s in there, I think maybe a 14. Not stoked. But then when I went and looked at it afterwards, still pretty darn happy with it. Like the elevation was over 1,200 feet. The day was warming up. I finished right at high noon. Not to say it was hot, but it definitely was warming up. I can't really be upset with that. Okay, so taking a step back, I would just like to bring you to a moment that was right at kind of the 23-mile mark. It was like all flat. My legs were completely pumped. I'd say the only thing that hadn't gone at that point was my calves. Just got really kind of emotional. Like I wasn't breathing heavy. It wasn't like I was like, absolutely cardiovascularly struggling. I think I was just like mentally, and that's when I was like, okay, this is it. Kind of hitting the wall here. Kept going, never stopped stopped moving. Kept that kind of shuffle going for like a mile, worked back into it, and then I think I finished with like two 12-minute miles to finish it out. Overall time registered with the race was about 4:55. That's what I had for the marathon part on Strava. I did not stop my workout until 26.5. So technically on Strava, my whole workout went over 5 hours by 7 seconds. Ugh. Not much you can do about that though. It was kind of officially like a 4:55. I'm okay with that. Originally my goal was more 4:30, but with the elevation, what are you gonna do? You just gotta get through, do your best, and first marathon completed. So yeah, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say, we'll beep it out. All right, so I took you outside. This last bit is just a thank you to anyone who's ever clicked on one of these videos. I gotta say, my YouTube channel just hit 100 and I believe 3, give or take, if anyone has unsubscribed at this point, maybe 102, but that's huge for me. I recently watched a Casey Neistat video where he was talking about, what was the hardest bit? Your first 10 subs. What was the hardest bit after that? Your first 100 subs. Yeah, it took me about a year, but the fact that I'm culminating with finishing my first marathon, getting 100 subscribers, things are just kind of coming to fruition in a good, slow, progressive manner. And I think that's kind of one of those things that people struggle with, maybe when they want to start on the YouTube platform or anything like that. It seems to be, you just need to grind it out. You need to upload. Sure, I've definitely gone through, I went through like 2-month period where I wasn't uploading at all, but like consistency, and I'm not saying it's paid off. Like obviously I don't get paid to do this. I'm really exponentially far from ever getting paid to do this, but I'm enjoying telling a story. I'm enjoying making these videos, and I'm enjoying my running, which is like the most important part. You know, I finished a marathon. I definitely want to keep running. I want to find a harder, longer trail course for me to work on coming up really soon. So that being said, I will wrap this up. Please feel free, like I said at the beginning of the video, to like, comment, maybe even subscribe if you're into that kind of thing. This could be a place where you tell your story as well. Yes, City of Oaks Marathon completed. We're looking forward. Maybe I'll make a video with some sort of a plan for how I want to start training again. That is that. As always, ciao for now. Peace.